Hey everyone, today I'm going to teach you how to make these Santa gift sacks using sublimation. The supplies you're going to need for this project is a sublimation printer with ink. You'll need a large gift sack bag. You'll need sublimation printer paper, heat safe tape, scissors, a measuring tape, some butcher paper or heat safe paper, and a heat press, and then of course the gift sack designs, which are going to be linked below along with resources for what I'm using here. So check out the video description if you need help knowing where to get these supplies, as well as which printers I recommend and such for sublimation. That information is below for you. The first thing I'm going to do is print my designs out. So I have my sublimation printer here and my paper is loaded. I also have my heat press here and my blank ready to go. These are the supplies that I'm using as we just went over. You can use a variety of heat presses, so it's okay if you don't have, the exact one that I have. An easy press can work. I'm going to print my design off. You want to make sure that when you print these designs, you scale them so that they fit to the page and they're not going over the margins, and they'll print correctly for you. You want to use the mirrored version. So I have mirrored versions and right side facing versions in the files for you, so you don't have to worry about mirroring them yourself. But if you're doing sublimation with these, you do need to mirror the designs. You'll want to print out each one of these pieces here on the sublimation printer, and then we're going to trim them down in order to piece them together onto the large bag. Next, you want to trim away the excess paper, so I kind of just loosely go around the design, and you want to do this so that we can place them onto the bag and position them in a way to where we can position them closely to one another. It's also very helpful that when you start positioning these pieces that you look at the image on your screen. In the files there's a full image and a preview image, so you'll want to take a look at that to make sure you're placing things as they're supposed to be on the bag. But it's very helpful to trim away all of this extra paper. That way you can get things nice and close together. So just take a few moments, and any pair of scissors will work to trim away that extra paper. I'm using a crafting heat press by Heat Press Nation, but of course you could use another type of heat press as well. My temperature is going to be at 365 for 55 seconds for this particular design. These burlap bags, they're kind of like a burlap fabric on the bags, and I found that temperature worked best after some experimenting. So if you happen to use the same bags as I do or something similar, then these temperature settings may also work for you. Next, we're going to start placing the design. So I recommend working from the top down because the bag is rather large. We're going to press it in two sections. And all I'm doing here is I'm taking my first piece and I'm measuring my bag on each side, placing it in the middle, and then measuring each side and the top to make sure that it's centered. And once I see that my measurements are the same on each side, so mine's about 4.5 inches on each side, I'll know it's center, and I'll start adding some of that heat safe tape to hold it in its position. I usually double check it a couple times to make sure that I am staying nice and centered. But you want to make sure you use heat safe tape, so don't use anything else that doesn't say heat safe, otherwise it will ruin your project. This tape is meant to withstand high amounts of heat and hold your designs in place on your blanks. I'm adding all of the top half of the designs for this bag here, as much as I can get on for one press before I lower my heat clamp down. So I was able to fit the top words for this one design, and then the bottom words, and then a couple of the snowflakes. And the second press will be the train and the date below. So my press is done now. It was 55 seconds to press it, and I laid down some butcher paper here to protect my heat press. That's technically not a requirement, but I have found that laying down some butcher paper or some heat safe paper is really good for protecting your heat press just in case something is like, ink bleeds through or something like that. So I always lay a sheet down on my design before I press. And then you want to carefully remove the design with all the tape. It should come up relatively easily. And mine is barely warm to the touch, so I don't need to wear heat-safe gloves, but if you're concerned about that at all, then I recommend getting some heat-safe gloves or just waiting a few extra minutes. I'm now going to move down to the bottom half of my design here, and I'm going to add on the train, and I'm going to add on the do not open until December 24th. There's also a December 25th option in there as well. I include both dates in case you prefer to do Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. So I'm going to place those down. I'm going to measure my sides again to make sure I'm getting it centered, and then we'll again secure it with some of that heat-safe tape so it doesn't shift around on us, and we'll be able to do our second press here. Now, trimming down a few more of my snowflakes here, I kind of like to randomize where I place them on my design, but of course you can look exactly, look at the image and copy it exactly if you like as you're placing this onto your sack here. So I kind of like to scatter the snowflakes around like they're kind of falling down around the screen. And then I have the date here as well. It's the do not open until December 24th. Like I said, I have a December 25th option as well. And I'm going to place that right underneath the train and get it centered and taped down as well. So next, make sure that the part that you're pressing is right on the center area of your heat press. You want to take some of that heat safe, like butcher paper, you want to place it over the area that has already had the sublimation added to it to protect your heat press and protect the design from the direct heat. And then you want to add another piece again over the top of the design we're actually pressing, where the sublimation paper is actually being pressed now. So you want to make sure you protect what's already been pressed and then protect again what is being pressed. My heat press works to where I can just sort of move the design back and keep it going in the same direction, but if you needed to, you could always flip the design around and have the bag hanging off the front if you needed to do that as well. Okay, so I'm going to remove that paper, and you can actually see some of the design actually went onto the paper, which is why we put it there, to protect our heat press from the sublimation that has already been added to the bag when we're adding our second one on. And now I'm going to remove the second half of our design here at the bottom. Just carefully lifting that away. It looks really pretty. I love how the colors become so vibrant once you get it onto your design or onto your blank. You can get a close look here. Alright, and that's how easy it is. I have 4 different of these designs. They're really cute, and they can be used year after year, or you could make them for someone you love and send their gifts in them, or gift their gifts to them in them, and it could be something that they can keep and enjoy. So I hope you guys like this tutorial. It's a very simple beginner sublimation craft, and I'll have resources linked for you below, and I hope you will go and download the files. They're also available for you below at members.abbikirstencollections.com. I'll see you guys there. Thanks for watching.